What would Thursday be like without etiquette? We have the amazing Janet Adetu standing by. She's a certified and accredited high performance coach and a corporate protocol and etiquette expert. Now, she is joining us to share some etiquette tips on safe supermarket runs during this pandemic. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Titi. How are you?
Fine, thank you. It's great to see
Great.
you. You're looking well.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're coping. We're surviving. And it's
So,
important that you keep that positive mind.
yes, very, very important, very key.
Absolutely.
Now, there are a lot of people who visit supermarkets, markets, open markets, at least once a week. In some cases, more than once a week, and it's been the only other place to go to, apart from staying home, apart from those that are going to work, of course. So now, what is the etiquette on safe
Yes.
supermarket runs?
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, since the lockdown and even the ease of the lockdown, let me say, well, I've been to the supermarket just twice, but I'm always prepared. So I think the moment you decide you need to go and get an essential commodity from the supermarket, you have to kit up. And the way I do it, I make sure I have my disposable rubber gloves.
Okay,
I have my mask without a doubt, of course.
okay.
I actually have my sanitizer. Now, this is a spray sanitizer, much easier to use when you're wearing the rubber gloves. And I actually go with my cards, which is really important. Now, for me, it's important once you wear your gloves and right from the moment you get into your vehicle to go, or you decide that it's just down the road and you go, you wear your gloves, you wear your mask, you sanitize your gloves, okay? Now, of course, a lot of supermarkets now have sanitizers at the entrance or somebody who's holding a sanitizer container. Use it as you go in. Now, if it's a supermarket and you want to get a trolley, you can imagine without the gloves, you're exposing yourself. So you have to wear the gloves when you go and take a trolley or you go and take one of the baskets. So you must have your sanitizer around with you all the time. Now, the best thing to do if you want to go to the supermarket is please go with a shopping list. Know exactly what you want to go and buy. This is not the time for you to go and do window aisle shopping, so to say. Okay, you need to know what you want. And most times, if it's a supermarket that you are familiar with, you almost know where the aisles are. You know where to go to get those things. So without wasting time, give yourself time. You can't spend 2 hours in a supermarket today. You want to go there within the hour or less. You go to the aisle, you pick your item. Now, what is really important about picking items today is making sure that you don't just pick an item, look at it, and put it back. Once you know what you want to buy, pick your own and drop it, okay, into your basket, into your trolley. Okay, it's very, very important. And be considerate. There may be something that you've been looking for, okay, and you finally see it. If you need to buy it, if you can buy six, fine. Don't buy 20. Be considerate of the other shopper. And this is the aftermath of panic buying when people saw tissue paper and toilet roll on the shelves and they cleared out the whole shelves regardless of other people. It's really important to remember that other people want it as well. And if it's the supermarket that's going to be stocking up on a regular basis, buy the one you can afford now and then go back another time and get some more. So it's really about being considerate. Now, most supermarkets also have perishable items, fresh fruit and veg, which is why sometimes you go to the supermarket because you want to get a fresh stock of fruits and vegetables. Okay, very important for your immune system. Now, you should always wear your gloves again when you're picking your items like onions, potatoes, carrots, and things like that. Put them in the bag where they need to weigh it, okay? Seal it and put it in your bag, in your trolley again, or your basket, so to say. But please be mindful of those perishable items. Don't touch too many. Take the few that you want, let them wait for you, and you're good to go. Perishable items are very, very important that you need to, watch over. Sometimes you want to pick something from the deep freezer as well. Of course, even without the gloves, it's cold. But pick what you want from the deep freezer and put it in your basket. You remember, it's cold, it's ice. You don't really want to be touching any of those things with your bare hands at all. And when it comes to paying, if you have cash and you don't have your card with you, try as much as possible to have the kind of cash that is as close to the amount as you possibly can to sort of like avoid taking raw cash, as change. But the safest thing to do is really to carry your ATM card. But then again, even when you're carrying your ATM card, you must be wearing your disposable gloves because you're going to punch the the POS machine. And of course, everyone is punching the POS machine, and that's why it's a lot safer. You could use your sanitizer at that point in time again on top of your gloves. Punch whatever you need to punch, receive the receipt, receive your card, also wearing your gloves. Now, what is really key about supermarket shopping again, and any shopping for that matter, is when you get home. When you get home, the first thing you need to do, because I have a larger container in my car, in all the vehicles, everywhere, I have them all over the house. You need to sanitize your shoes before you go back into the house. That's number one. Once you sanitize your shoes, please put the bags down outside your door and sanitize the bags.
Yeah.
That means spray the bags. That's why the spray sanitizer is one item you can't do without. And get the bigger one that is, for your domestic house, the one that you can spray on surfaces. So spray your shoes, spray the bags. You're still wearing the gloves, mind you, and then you take your bags indoors. Now, once you take them indoors, you can now remove your gloves, you can now remove your mask. But the biggest thing you must remove is your clothes. You need to take those clothes off that you have used to go to a public place. Of course, take a clean shower, wear clean clothes, and then you're good to go round about your house. The sanitizing thing is something, personal care is something that you're going to really take intentional efforts to make sure that you're not doing things the way you were doing them before. This is now the new normal. Because you're going about the place.
Thank you so much. I have to say, a lot of the tips you've given now, I've taken some precautions myself. The last one you mentioned now, the sanitizing of the bags. So when I started doing this, people looked at me like I was losing my mind. I'm just, putting it lightly. But then also, what about the items inside the bags? Now, so some of them are in cartons, in boxes, in bottles that could have been touched on the shelves before you pick them up. So what should we do about that?
Absolutely. So that's, for me, some people say that's an extreme as well. But for me, it is not an extreme. If you bought a box of something, then you're good to go. You spray the box and it's okay. It hasn't been opened. That is assuming it hasn't been opened. But even me, when I buy items from the shop, just because of people that are taking it and putting it back, I do spray everything. In fact, my housekeeper sprays everything. Money, she sprays money, almost like washing money if she has change. So we always, and I've taught my people in the house too, anything that comes from outside, spray it down. Now, you cannot spray perishables. Remember that. You cannot spray perishables. You can wash the perishables, your fruit and veg, but all tinned items, packaged items, get this spray. Don't use the ointment type of sanitizer. The spray sanitizer is okay. And now they're selling surface kind of sanitizers that you can use for multi-purpose. If you can get hold of the multi-purpose sanitizer, not just for hand, get that one. You spray down your surfaces, you spray down your table. Remember, the exposure is so much out there, you just don't know where things are coming from. You're just trying to be extra precautious for yourself and your family as well.
Thank you very much for this. Just one other thing to note. The fact that a lot of people are, thinking about packing a lot of items into the house, staying for a long time. In some cases, you can't do that. So as long as these tips are in your head when you're going to the supermarket, you'll be a lot safer. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. As always, it's always a really enlightening session whenever we have Janet Adetu with us. Yes, etiquette tips on safe supermarket runs during this pandemic. Who would have thought? You heard it here first. Now we're taking a quick break and we'll be back.